Good evening, friends. We're on night 38 of the Elul Screen challenge, journeying towards Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement or At-One-ment. Reading passages from the Kabbalah book, Inner Work, Teachings of Rav Yehuda Ashlag. Page 65. The light of Mashiach is only experienced when we desire to give. Those who are not working to reach the state of giving are not wanting for the Mashiach, but rather for something they imagine to be Mashiach. The truth is that Mashiach will come only to instill in us the value of giving. So the light of Mashiach, like we talked about last night, is the light of Yechidah, the highest level of soul, the highest spiritual light. When this light shines, the oneness of God becomes revealed to us. So this light of Mashiach is only experienced when we desire to give, right? Because desiring to give truly, authentically, comes from a place of being full, of not lacking. And the only way that you're not lacking is when you're in a state of union with the divine, when you're feeling God filling you with light and love, when you're feeling connected to your sacred purpose in this world, and all you want to do is give. You want to give from a place of fullness, of overflowing with the experience of union with the divine. So the light of Mashiach is only experienced, the light of the Messiah is only experienced when we desire to give. Excuse me. Those who are not working to reach the state of giving are not waiting for the Mashiach. Those who are not working to reach a state of giving, meaning to come into this state of union with the divine so that there's a fullness and all you want to do is give. You're not looking to receive because you're full and you're not lacking. Those who are not working to gain this state, reach this state of giving, are not actually waiting for the Messiah, but rather for something they imagine to be the Messiah. The truth is that Mashiach, the Messiah, the spiritual light, will come only to instill in us the value of giving. Again, the Messiah being an aspect of the light of the highest level of soul, the highest spiritual light, the light that shines the oneness of God, will only come to instill in us the value of giving, because it is revealing the union of the divine, of God's oneness, filling us with that light, and then thus as a result, filling us with the desire to give. Angels do not exist in heaven like they are depicted in many paintings. Angels represent spiritual states of consciousness within ourselves. So this is a very particular, unique take on angels, that angels do not exist in heaven like they're depicted in many paintings, but angels in fact represent spiritual states of consciousness within ourselves. So you can understand that as like when you're moving through time and space and you have a spiritual experience, you reach a certain state of consciousness so that you get communications from the world of the sacred, divine communications. that those are angels, and those are angels which represent these spiritual states of consciousness, higher states of consciousness within ourselves. The Mashiach will reveal the greatness of God so that we can be free from wanting to receive. How many people are yearning for this? So the Mashiach, the Messiah, will reveal the greatness of God so that we will be free from wanting to receive. Again, so the Messiah, which brings about the transition from the exile paradigm where God is hidden to the redemption paradigm where God's oneness is revealed. The Messiah will reveal this greatness of God, the unity of God, so that we can be free from wanting to receive, because it will be full of experiencing ourselves as an extension of the majesty of the divine, here to be in service to the divine, here to help bring about healing and awakening for all of humanity. And he closes this passage with, how many people are yearning for this? How many people are truly yearning both for the coming of the Messiah, the transition from the Galut paradigm to the Geulah paradigm, from the exile paradigm to the redemption paradigm, and to be free from wanting to receive? How many people are truly yearning for this? I mean, I don't know a lot personally. Yearning for it every day through their actions, not just through their thoughts. I think the Rav is pointing to the fact that it's a rare yearning, unfortunately. We need to reach a state of turning to God, not in order to get things, but rather for spiritual transformation. In any event, a selfish connection with God can lead to a higher connection, rooted in love. Therefore, prayers for material things are not to be belittled. Beautiful. Both points out that, right, we need to reach a state of turning towards God, not to be receiving things, not to be asking for things, which is a lot of times what we do when we turn to God. When people turn to God, they're turning to God in order to get things, to ask for things. But we need to reach a state where we are turning to God for spiritual transformation. But in any event, right, even a selfish connection to God can lead to a connection rooted in love. Therefore, prayers for material things are not to be belittled. So, exactly, like if you're praying for material things, it's a doorway to praying for transformation, and it's a doorway to a higher connection to spirit, rooted in authentic love, rather than just trying to get stuff. So don't knock praying for material things. That's the bottom line. Even if we say that God is good, suffering attests to feeling otherwise. Even if we say that God is good, suffering attests to feeling otherwise. Right. So, even if we say that God is good, even if we're speaking that, even if that's what comes out of our mouths, the suffering in the world our own personal and the collective suffering attests to feeling otherwise. I'm not sure what the point of this particular passage is. It just kind of states the obvious. Even if we say that God is good, suffering shows us otherwise. I'm just trying to read the Hebrew and I can't translate it exactly. It's a bit different than the translation, but I guess we'll leave this one there. The Baal HaSulam wrote in a letter that a tzaddik is a person who enjoys life non-stop every single moment. For a tzaddik, every situation is from God and therefore good. Wow. Love that. The Baal HaSulam wrote in a letter that a tzaddik, which is a righteous person, an awakened person, is a person who enjoys life non-stop every single moment. For a tzaddik, every situation is from God and therefore good, right? So again, it's this other state of consciousness that all we can do is speculate about at this point, which is that a person who is in union with the divine recognizes that every situation is coming from God. There's no situation that is devoid of God. There's no situation that is absent of God, right? That every situation, even terrible ones, are an expression of God. They're an extension of God. When you live in God consciousness, you're not thrown off by things that for regular people are disturbing, because you recognize that they're all rooted in God. Even horrible things are rooted in God. And therefore, good. You could say they're God, right? I don't know, like good, again, is sort of I can't think of the right word, but maybe not so fitting. I mean, it's a bit, yeah. Every situation is from God and is therefore good. It's hard for us to understand that if we think of horrible circumstances that are taking place, right? If a person is, God forbid, raped in a moment, that somehow that is good. I could see how we could understand that is from God, because it is here, and everything that is here is an extension of God. But that it is therefore good is like too much of a jump, at least for the way that our minds are going to understand this. I understand kind of where he's pointing. Like every situation is from God and is therefore good, because it's like there's a level kind of that's pointing to a level of emunah, of faith, embodied faith, that even a horrible situation is somehow for the good. It is to bring about good in some way, which is a very delicate concept. Um, I mean, if we're talking in true transcendent states, then you know, there is no real good or evil in that place, because everything is divine light. You transcended good and evil. So, I mean, there's some stories about the tzaddikim that really transcend our concepts of what we really can understand as humanly possible. So I caution us to try to understand this and from this state of consciousness. Okay, we'll pause there. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you tomorrow.